welcome to this week's episode of Room 120 News, your place to find out everything that's going on in our school and in our classroom this week. Please be sure that you're checking your child's homework contract nightly and signing on the appropriate day. That way you are acknowledging that you know what's happening every day in our classroom. I would prefer you not sign the whole week because the whole point is to kind of look at the folder each night. We are continuing with our reading fluency homework, even though the school year is coming to an end. So please just be mindful of that each night, just making sure that you're doing that, as your child's fluency will increase based on their number of practice. Please be sure that you send in a white t-shirt for field day by this coming Friday. I always tie-dye t-shirts for field day. So if you could just please send in a white t-shirt by this Friday, May the 25th, that would be wonderful. Up next is Looking Ahead, where you will hear all the things that are going to happen in the future of our school and in our classroom. Mark your calendars for Monday, May the 27th, as there will be no school in observance of Memorial Day. So there will be no school for students or staff that day. The building will be closed, so please just plan accordingly. Also, make sure that you have June the 3rd on your calendar, as it is going to be our end-of-the-year celebration at 1 o'clock in our classroom. There will be more details coming home in your child's folder this week and how you can help make that celebration a success. Mark your calendars for June the 4th, as it is field day. Second grade will be in the morning, and there was a volunteer form that went home a couple of weeks ago. If you need a new form, please let me know, and I'll be glad to provide one for you. And then finally, the last day of school is on Wednesday, the June 5th, and it is a half day, so please plan accordingly for that day. And then finally, I'm kind of going to go back. Every year, at the end of the year, I do a very, very, very special day in my classroom. So if you don't know, I'm kind of like famous for wearing the bow tie every day, or mostly every day, to school. And so every year, and another fun fact that a lot of people don't know is that my grandmother is actually the one that actually makes all of the bow ties. So she hand sews all my bow ties for me, so that I can have whatever I want, like whatever pattern and whatever design that I want. So it's so sweet. So a fun event that we do every year is that she actually makes bow ties or hair bows for your child every year, and it's just such a sweet time, and she brings them in and we celebrate the end of the year together. And so we just ask that on Thursday, I believe it's a Thursday, May the 30th, that your child either wears a white or black shirt. If they're a guy, it would be better for them to wear a collared shirt so that the tie would look best. But if not, that's okay. And then if you are a lady, if you could wear like a black shirt or a white shirt or something, just so that the tie matches, or the hair bow matches your outfit. So you'll hear more about that, and there'll be reminders as time goes on, but that will be Thursday, May the 30th. We're just asking either white or black, so that the pattern looks best. Up next is Curriculum Corner, where you will hear everything that your child is going to learn in the classroom this week. In Eureka Math, we are doing Unit 6, which focuses on the foundations of multiplication. But this week, we're actually talking about something that kind of relates to multiplication when it comes to, like, knowing your twos and knowing equal groups. We're going to begin talking about even and odd numbers. So students will be exploring what makes a number even and what makes a number odd. In Foundations, it completely depends on what group your child is in, so please be sure to check the Foundations newsletter that the second grade team puts out. In Reading, we're continuing in Module 4 of Wit and Wisdom, which is how does food nourish us, is the overarching question. And this week, we're going to be talking about how do you choose foods that nourish our bodies. So students will be reading and exploring books about how they can choose foods that best nourish and help their bodies. And then finally, we're wrapping up in science our unit of weather, and so students will finish up their graphing this coming week and looking at the comparisons. And then we're moving into our final science topic of the year, which will be states of matter. So students will be learning that all matter is made up of particles, and how, depending on how close the particles are together and how fast they are moving, will depend on what state of matter that particular object is in. So students will be talking about changes in matter, and then just what makes solids and liquids a solid or a liquid. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Room 120 News. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. If not, we'll see you right back here next week for another episode of Room 120 News.